Hey Limitless Nation, today you're in for a real treat. You get to learn directly from Lionel Tan. With 10 years of experience in both online marketing and sales persuasion, Lionel Tan is the founder of the invisible sales close technique, a proven online sales process designed to trigger and tap into customers' impulsive buying behavior. Today, he has imparted his technique to more than 5,500 of his clients from various industries who are all now able to effortlessly close more sales online than ever before. Lionel Tan has been able to do this all without having to meet or speak with anyone, all without touching any personal contacts or spending any money on online advertising. In today's masterclass, you are going to learn directly from the master Lionel Tan. Let's dive into it.
Well, before you dive into today's masterclass session, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. It allows you to receive notification bell every single time we have uploaded a new video and showing you how to live a limitless life. Now, if you want to dig deeper on what you need to do to hunt your future, make sure you watch the interview that I've done with Donna Vaughn at huntyourfuture.com. It will show you how you can hunt your future on every aspect of your being. Plus, you're going to receive tips and secrets on what you need to do to tackle your days on a regular basis. Now, let's dive into today's masterclass sessions.
Hey, welcome, Leo.
Hey, hi.
So glad to have you here with us. Now,
Thank you so much, Donovan. Yeah.
is there anything that we did not cover in the bio that you would like to share with the Limitless Nation?
No, I think that's pretty much, you've covered everything, yeah.
Okay. Well, here at the Limitless Nation, we have a tradition of starting every single interview with a limitless quote or mantra or even affirmation. Do you have such a quote or mantra or affirmation that you have embedded into your life?
Oh, yes. So I always am a firm believer in how you do anything is basically how you do everything, right? So if I am going to be doing something, I'll always make sure that I'm going to give my all, because I know that the thing that I can't live with myself is that knowing that if I don't give my all, if I give my all and I don't get the result that I wanted, at least, I can live with myself saying that, at least I have given my all. I did not hold anything back. Yeah. So basically that's the mantra that I have. And I don't know if I can actually share this, because in Singapore, every man has to serve their nation. We have to do national service. We have to serve in the military for 2 years, right? Yeah, and one of the serious thing that I learned back then, because I did not have a good education, right? So basically, the higher your academic qualification is, there is a better chance for you to get like higher rank, become a better ranking officer and all that. And because I didn't have good academic qualifications, there's only so far that I can go, right? And there was this rumor, silly rumor, back then I was only an 18-year-old boy. There's this rumor saying that, you don't want to get caught in the middle. If you want to, it's either you get to the highest ranking, and during that 2 years, or you will stay at the bottom, right? Because there's not much responsibility, and you don't want to get caught in the middle, because the middle is where you got to answer to your officer and you got to deal with the drama of your man, and you don't want that. You don't want to get caught in the middle, And because I believe in that, I did not give my all, even though my instructor was like, say, hey, this guy has lots of potential, and he said, hey, do you want to be a sergeant, a commander? And I just said, no, I don't wish to, and I did not give my all. I did not take the initiative. I was like avoiding responsibility, and this is something that I kind of regretted, because right now I have kids, I have children, and my kids are going to face the same thing as I once did, and what kind of advice am I going to give them? So this is something that the only one thing that I regret, and from that day onwards, I decided, if I want to do anything, I make sure I give it my best, right? So it has become part of my mantra and how I do my business. Always give your all, because how you do anything is how you do everything. It's an attitude. Yeah.
Yes. Always give your all, because how you do anything is how you do everything.
That's correct.
It reminds me, how you practice is how you're going to play the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. That's correct. Yeah. That's nice. Yeah. I like it.
Thank you. So, Leo, in going through your journey, what is a challenge or setback or possibly a failure that you've had to overcome to get to where you are now?
The failure and setback that I had to, well, for me personally, it's all about never giving up. Okay, well, for me, one of the biggest, I wouldn't consider failure, but I feel it as a a challenge, a lesson that you got to overcome. Like for myself, I have never been good at school, and in fact I dropped out after high school, right? But in Singapore we call it secondary school, right? I flunked and I couldn't go to any college, and because of that I had trouble looking for a permanent job. So I did everything like part-time, you know, like I used to work in the night safari in Singapore. It's like a tourist attraction. It's like a zoo, a nighttime zoo. I used to look after snakes and all that, and I just couldn't find a full-time job, right? I was like holding like part-time, you know, like 2 jobs a day, and nothing's ever permanent. But one thing I knew back then, that was in the year 2009, you know, and everyone was talking about, hey, how the internet is slowly coming up, you know, that you can actually make lots of money from there, starting a business online. And that was something that I wanted to do. And back then I didn't have the money, right, to attend any courses, and there weren't any local mentors, that many mentors as of like it is today. So what I did was I actually went to a company and I asked, hey, you know what, can I work for you instead? No, I want to learn, but can I work for you? So the guy asked me, my mentor asked me, so what do you know? I said, I know nothing. So I made him an offer that was so hard for him to refuse. I was like, okay, why not like this, right? Why don't I just work for you for free, for no salary? Or I ask if you are willing to just pay for my lunch and for my bus ride back home. And back then, you know, I live from one end to another, so each ride is close to about an hour, right, in bus journey. And so that was my life for 2 years. And just because I wanted to learn how digital marketing, how to make money online, I work for free. So for me, I think this is something for me personally, I felt it was the hardest, because, you know, you can imagine like you're in your 20s, right? It's embarrassing. You're living with your parents. You don't have money to because, you know, Asian culture, we support our family than our parents, you know, we take care of our parents, but I can't do that, you know, and that's where I actually felt really bad. But everything has paid off ever since. So the thing is that, and what's really interesting is that not too long ago, I actually saw a video that Robert T. Kiyosaki, the author of The Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? He did a video, he did an interview, right, about the difference between the rich people and the poor people, right? And he said that rich people work for free. And that suddenly hit me, you know. Are you able to work for something that you don't see immediate gratification? Are you willing to work hard for something that you don't see the salary immediately? Because I think that really has a shift in the mindset, because most people are being conditioned and trained to become employees, right? And he says something that really makes a lot of sense. He said that the moment I start paying you, you know, your brain shuts down, you stop thinking, right? But the moment when you're hungry, you know, you'll find all ways to make money. And that was what happened to me. I was hungry. So the one advice that I can give to anybody, you know, is for you to continue to stay hungry. If you don't know how to stay hungry, put yourself in situations where you'll be forced to go hungry. Like for myself, I know that I can be quite a procrastinator, you know, like if things get hard, I'll just take the easy way out. I don't feel like doing that. So what actually happened was I worked for 2 years, right, for this company, and it was like up and down, and I became good at digital marketing. That this company that I worked for, they had no choice but they had to pay me, right? They had to give me the salary that I asked for, because I was just so good at attracting clients for them. And there was one time they didn't do so well, and they kind of like they had to like lay me, like kind of like they said, you know what, I think I'm paying you too much. There's nothing much I think you can offer us, because what I'm paying you, I can hire like 3 more other guys. And what's really interesting, back then, it was very easy for me to give up. But what actually happened was my girlfriend of 7-8 years back then, you know, she kind of like forced me, you know, you got to get married. You know, if you're going to use being broke as a reason to get of not getting married, you know what, you will never marry me, because you will always be struggling, you know, something like that. So anyway, what I actually, cut a long story short, I took the plunge. I married and you know, it's in Asia culture, right? If you marry the eldest daughter, you don't just marry her, you marry into her family, right? And you want her family to feel that, hey, you know what, I know that my daughter will be well taken care of. So it's kind of like a weird statement. And for me, I wanted to do a grand banquet. That is always what I wanted, but I didn't have the money, right? And what actually happened was I proposed, I made a commitment, and then the next thing, I worked my ass off, right? And I worked much harder than these 3 other guys that they were thinking of. I produced much better results. I've done things marketing wise that I've never thought that I could. I achieved dramatic result. What actually happened was the company ended up giving me an increment. Back then they gave me an increment because I worked my ass off, right? So the point that I'm saying is that, you know, don't be afraid of hard work, because in order to master something, you got to give something in return. And for me, I gave my time, I gave my effort, and in return I had a lot of feedback. I had a lot of things that I knew right now that I could actually use for my business. And the best thing is that while working for the company, I actually get to test out marketing campaigns using the company's resources and funds, right? It's not at my expense, it's at theirs, but the result was I learned something, and I was able to build build my business quickly. That means instead of failing my business, like what I did, I actually used my own resources. I did it the right way. Yeah. So yeah, basically that's that. Yeah.
That's amazing. So Leo, with all of that experience and knowledge, what are you working on now in your business?
Hope you enjoyed the masterclass session so far. Before we get into the second half of the session itself, it is very crucial for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, as I really don't want you to miss out on another masterclass where I'm going to share with you what other experts, celebrities, Fortune 5000 companies do to become successful and live a limitless life. So make sure you subscribe right now, and every single time we upload a new video, you will receive a notification bell. This allows you to enjoy the masterclass on the regular basis. So make sure you subscribe right now. Well, as you are ready, let's get into the second half of the masterclass session.
So right now, I actually have a class right now in Singapore that I focus more on asset. I talk about building an asset. So in short, it may just seems like email marketing, list building, but a lot of people don't really understand what's asset building. What is it? Okay, like for example, right? So what I did right now, I actually have a web. For me, I am promoting an affiliate product which is in the beauty line, and I have a database of like 18,000 people. And right now in Singapore, I actually do a class. Occasionally, I do webinars as well, where I teach people how they can just leverage on a product that they don't own, right? They don't own it, but they can leverage on the brand or the popularity of the product to actually build their own database of customers. So you realize that at the end of any business, every business, have an asset, right? And most of their assets are actually their database of customers. Like for example, Amazon, for instance, right? If you think about it, what is Amazon's largest asset? It isn't the platform. It is their 300 plus million customers worldwide, and that's their biggest asset. And they are making money off other people's product, if you think about it this way. And if you think about how many companies that, like for example, I don't know if you guys know Rocket company, Lazada. This is just another one of the case study. Lazada is something like an Amazon. Is like an online shopping platform that is really popular in Singapore and in Asia generally, right? And and they were making, like in the year 2014, they were making a loss of $200 million, but Alibaba still bought them over for $1 billion. And then in the next 2 years, Alibaba invested $5 billion. And so that begs the question, why would a larger corporation invest so much money in a company that is supposedly making a loss? And why would they spend money to buy over a company that is losing money? Why? What are they investing in? What are they buying? They're actually paying for that distribution channel to the people, right? They're actually buying that database of people. Because you have a database, it doesn't matter, you're making money. I can be promoting my products. I could be advertising my stuff to these people, but this is actually exactly what I want. So that's the reason why you realize that newspaper publishing companies, they can charge, like thousands of dollars for you to just publish an ad in the papers. Why? Because you are actually paying for the read. If you think in terms of the traditional offline retail businesses, like why does it cost like $5,000 to $10,000, to advertise in the TV? So you are actually so you realize that the person or the company that is in control of the database is actually the biggest winner at the end of the day. Your business could be making a loss, but as long as you have a database, it's gonna worth something, right? It's the asset. So what's really interesting that I actually talk about in class is like for example in Singapore, when we are talking about asset, people automatically think about real estate. I own a property and I rent it out, and I earn, like, after minusing the mortgage and all that, I get like $1,500 to $2,000 in rental, assuming if that's possible, right? And I realized that in Singapore, the practice is that you've got to make a deposit of 20%. So usually it's about, if you buy a 1 million condo, for example, in Singapore, flats are crazily expensive. Houses in Singapore are crazily expensive. For a $1 million US, you only get like an apartment, like 4 rooms. It's really expensive. It costs, like, you got to put in like 20% down payment, like $200K, and the rest you take a bank loan, right? The mortgage and all that. So can you imagine that people in Singapore, in order to earn that rental, like the $1,000, $2,000 profit in rentals, they have to invest $200,000, and that is like their stable income, right? Because at the end of the day, you realize that people can't work forever. If you ask yourself right now, you have a job, but the question is, how long can you work? The moment when you stop working, it could be maybe due to retrenchment, or maybe it could be due to because sickness or what, but at some point point in time, you know you will have to stop working. So if you stop working, what exactly do you have, to take care of you? Can you rely on your family? Right? Can you guarantee that you have a family member to take care of you? Do you have any inheritance, or do you have any asset? If you don't have the money to own a real estate that you can rent out, your next best alternative is to rely on the internet, all right, to build an online asset. For this case, on the internet, the biggest asset that anyone can have is actually a database of people, right? So one of the products that I'm promoting is actually in the beauty niche, right? So I'm promoting a couple of products, but one of the product, and by the way, my list size of database is not huge. In fact, it's just like 18,000 people, right? But every month, just from one product over the last 4 years since 2015 up to now, I'm withdrawing about 1,500 to 2,000 US dollars a month, and that's just like for one product, right? It's something that you just set it up once, you build it up once, but you get those repeat customers. Like a small percentage of them will like the product that you promote and they love it so much. Especially when it comes to skincare, not every product is suitable for every skin. So the moment they fall in love with the product, they're going to use it. So again, for me personally, what I always encourage is that if you want to start out in the beginning, nobody knows you, right? Nobody knows you. So what can you leverage on? Like for example, I give you the concept of like Foot Locker, right? No one, by the way, is Foot Locker very popular you guys have Foot Locker in the US? Yeah, Foot Locker is from the US, yes. Like for example, Foot Locker, right? They specialize in sports shoes, for example, right? Sports shoes. And you realize that Foot Locker by itself, they are like nobody, right? And they tap onto like brands like sports brands like Adidas, Nike, and suddenly they just have all the customers, right? So they tap onto someone else's popularity, someone else's brand to build an entire business for themselves. So if you realize that is kind of like affiliate marketing, right? How do I associate myself with the big boy, right? So
Right.
yeah, so for myself, that's exactly what I did. I find a product that works like crazy, that could give like immediate results. When people watch the video, people are like, wow, what product is this, right? So I kind of like leverage on that to build my database. So what I did was, what's interesting is that if you have a product that you can see immediate results, because people attention is very short, right? But any product that can see, like for example, my product that I'm promoting is an eye bag cream where it kind of works like Botox, but it's just that it isn't Botox. You just apply it under the eye bag, and within 1 minute, with a timer, you can see the eye bag just like slowly disappears. So that kind of wow factor. And all I did was I just posted a video about it, and I put a link to my landing page where people can register and get a free sample, right? And people just register like crazy. And what I learned from there and what I want to share with you is that today, all you can have mediocre internet marketing skills. Maybe you're not even good technically, but I'm pretty sure you can easily go to YouTube and YouTube for how do I post a YouTube video, right? I think you can do that. So if you find a good product, simply just do a video demonstration how the product works. For all you know, it could be like a portable vegetable chopper. You just buy it off somewhere and just demonstrate how this thing works and how it can make it even more convenient for people who are chopping vegetables all the time. Post a video how it works. And you know what? You're just going to get lots of views, and people will just register in your squeeze page, and that's how you build a database from there. That's how you actually get started. And again, like from a database, you can make money from advertisement, right? You can just sell advertisements. You can promote other people's product, you can promote your own product. So that's where your database of audience subscribers becomes the asset. So basically, that's what I'm working on. And you go to my website, thelioneltan.com. Okay, Leo is actually my name that my friends call me for short. Lionel as in Lionel, Lionel Richie, right? Lionel Tan, Tan, right? Tan. So the Lionel Tan at thelioneltan.com, all right, is where if you want to learn the stuff that I'm talking about, just go ahead and we can keep in touch from there.
Awesome. Thank you very much for sharing that. And again, that is thelioneltan.com. Awesome. Now, Liam, when you started your journey, and I think you touched on this just a little bit, and you left your job, shall we say, what was one thing that you felt that was keeping you back from really becoming limitless like you are now?
Well, many reasons. One thing is fear, right? So never let the fear stop you, because fear is it's false. Like for me, the thing that was because can you imagine like you spend your whole life becoming an employee and something that you are going to venture out into an unknown. It can be a little bit scary in the beginning, even though I'm equipped with so many like internet marketing knowledge, but there is always this fear, to move forward. Now, the only regret that I have is that why didn't I have done earlier? I should have done so much earlier. So again, if what I feel is that you should follow your passion. Now, what's really interesting, like when you attend any events, seminars, you realize that one of the common things that a lot of trainers would advise you when you are about to learn anything new, they will always say, open up your mind, keep your minds open. But frankly speaking, I don't believe in that, okay? Maybe there are some truth, but somehow it just doesn't work for me. For me, I focus on opening my heart, okay? What do I mean? You see, the moment when you learn with your mind, you see, our mind always have this, our mind protects ourselves by saying, we tend to be skeptical, and you realize when you are skeptical over something, it's actually your mind that is robbing you of opportunity, right? Can you imagine like the time where you want to do anything new, your heart tells you that, yeah, this is something good, you want to do it. Your intuition tells you this is it. Your gut feeling, this is it. But your mind will say, what if it doesn't work? You see, all it just takes is just that one thought. It can rob you of the limitless life that you want to have, right?
Right.
So the thing that I want to share with everyone is that if you feel it in your heart, just go for it, because your mind will always stop you from doing everything. So for once, I would advise, shut off your mind, learn with your heart. What does your heart tells you? Is it a goal? By all means, don't think about it, just do it. You'll only know whether if it works or doesn't work if you do it.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. You won't know if it works or doesn't work until you actually move forward and try it out.
Yep, that's correct.
Now, Leo, in your successful journey, what is a habit that you have instilled or adapted into your life that has helped you maintain this lifestyle?
Well, okay, so one of the things that I do personally, that like the end of the night, like for example, like let's say right now, right, what I do is I'll always reflect what I've done for the day. This is how I actually stay productive. And what I do is that I actually keep a record. I actually write down what am I supposed to do tomorrow. Right? So it's very important, to have, you need to know what's your ultimate goal. What are you trying to achieve? It could be for business, and I always write down all these goal settings, and I always remind myself, why do I do certain things? Now, because, when it comes to doing any business, it isn't a smooth journey, like what most people think. There are going to be ups and downs. There are going to be challenges thrown at you, and it's always easy to give up. And I realize that when people give up, I realize one thing is that they actually forget why they started out in the first place. Why? It's like for example, right? So the thing is that ask yourself, like when you want to do a business, who are you doing this for? Yes, money is just a tool, right? But who are you ultimately doing this for? Are there people in your life who are counting on you to be successful, counting on you to have that limitless life? Maybe it could be your family, it could be your children, and you want to live that limitless life, to lead by example so that your kids can learn from you in the future, right? But I realize that when people give up, they forget the reason why, and the reason is because they don't write it down on paper. So the thing is that what I like to do is I always review, who am I doing this for? I will write the names down of my kids. I take a picture of my children. I put it like on my computer, right? So every time when the tough gets going, I was just like, when we start to get tough, I'll just look at my picture. I'm doing this for them, right? I'm going through the trenches because of them. That's the reason why I have to succeed, right? And the next thing that I do is that every night before the day ends, I write out what I have to do the thing tomorrow. And I always remind myself, how you do anything is how you do everything. Give it your best shot. Yeah, we only got one life, so make it count. Yeah.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. You only have one life, so you might as well make the absolute most and best of it. Now, Leo, what is a resource that you use to help you move forward?
A resource?
Like a mentor, a Facebook group, some people have said YouTube, some people have said Audible, something like that.
For me personally is hanging out with the right people, yes. And of course, definitely joining Facebook group really helps. Especially what I find that Facebook is more like the forums of the future, you know what I mean? Like for example, if let's say you are interested in certain topics like for example, digital marketing, you want to join those groups because there are similar entrepreneurs who probably face the same challenges that you have, and they have probably gone through them and they have really overcome it, and they are the best people to advise you, right? Like for example, you get stuck somewhere like okay, I can't get this thing going, have anybody had this problem before? That's the easiest way for you to get any problem solved, right? And also you want to be careful of the people that you hang around with. Like for myself, for instance, I'm very selective with people whom I hang out. I mean, like friends generally, I prefer to hang out with entrepreneurs. Yes, I do have, but you understand, if I were to spend, like assuming like if I could spend like 50% of my time with people, I want to make sure that there are people who entrepreneurs themselves, or there are people who are positive, people who are action takers. Generally, I prefer hang around people who are much better than myself, right? Because that's where I draw my energy from and strive to do much better. It's easier to hang around with friends who are as broke as you. It's easy, and everyone will just take take the easy way. Don't worry, it's fine. We are all like that. No, we can all be like that. No. So I always want to do better because you deserve better. Yeah, that's how to be limitless, right? So hang around with people who are already living that limitless lifestyle. You know who they are. And remember, how you do anything is how you do everything. Like the best thing you can do for yourself is make yourself available. Just keep showing up. Just keep showing up. Yeah. So if there's one advice that I could give is that if people don't know you, right? But as long as you keep showing up, people can sense your sincerity. People can see your perseverance, and that's where they feel that you are a worthy friend to make. And that's how you start to get to hang around those people of a higher status, entrepreneurs. Yeah, is when it's your attitude towards life. Just keep showing up.
I agree. Keep showing up and be present in the moment. Now, Leo, what was a book that possibly changed your entire, I'm going to say, mind shift that changed it all for you, that you can share with our viewers and listeners?
Oh yeah, definitely I have a book. And by the way, so the very first business book that I read, or entrepreneur book that I read, and I still remember I was 17, right? And it was a time when I was struggling in my final year school examination. I was really afraid that I would not succeed in life. And a good friend of mine handed me this book by Robert T. Kiyosaki, The Rich Dad Poor Dad. That totally changed my mind about business, because I always had this false impression of business, like being in front of the desk, working like day in, day out. I thought that was what business was. I didn't know better, right? And then I realized that he said something like C students work for A students. Wow, that moment, that was like my wake-up call. And again, for anyone who has no idea what business is, you might have a false impression and you don't know whether you are cut out to be an entrepreneur or not. You should totally read that book, right? It is when you are unsure and you are looking for a way out, that is definitely a book for you. If you're lost, you're not sure what's the next step in your career, profession, Rich Dad Poor Dad is the one. If I may, the second book that I would recommend is called The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. So basically, since you're going to get stuff done anyway, right? But there is a way where you can, this book is basically about how with your one-man effort, you can accomplish the work that 10 people do.
Right.
So that's a hint. You should go read it, right? And how you could, just get stuff done even without you being there, even without you putting in the work, but you can get stuff done. So that's like an amazing book. It has allowed me to accomplish a lot more much faster. That's like one of the best books other than the Rich Dad Poor Dad. Yeah, so these two, Rich Dad Poor Dad and The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss, which is good. If you don't really believe in spending your whole life working, then all the more you should read this book. Yeah, you'll love it.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and The 4-Hour Workweek. I agree.
Yeah.
Now, Leo, let's back up a little bit. And if you had to take a step back and reanalyze your entire journey so far, is there anything that you would have done differently to live the limitless life that you're living now faster?
Well, yep, definitely yes. And that would be procrastinate lesser, focus more on doing instead of thinking. Most people think too much and they never do, because there was once when I was when I was still in my youth, right? I don't dress up, I used to be really nerdy and I couldn't get a date, and so I kind of like resorted to attending dating class, and it's like the whole pickup scene many years back, and I literally attended a dating class so that I could learn to bring my best self, right, to dates, And one of the things is that I learned was this thing called the 3-second rule. The 3-second rule, right? Like, for example, I was made to go to a bookstore and to chat up with this girl, and I was so afraid, I was like walking around and was looking at her, but I just didn't dare make a move. And I still remember my dating instructor was like, okay, you lost the set, you gotta go. No, you don't talk to her, don't worry. Then I was like, why? Because look, man, you are hovering around the girl, that gives people the creeps, what I mean? You're giving her the creeps. Women's radar, they're in tune to the surrounding. They know that you are checking them out and you're not doing anything. It gives them the creeps, like you are being a creep, So there's always this 3-second rule. Don't think about it, just go and just say, hi, what book are you reading? That's it. That's the only thing you gotta say, okay? Even though if you just say what book you're reading, you just give an answer, you have no reply or whatsoever, at least you have tried, So it's all about doing, you don't think about it, right? So because the more you think about it, the more you're afraid. And I still remember when I was at a bookstore, and everyone I go, I look at, because I get nervous around women that I find attractive, right? So I kind of like hover around. I was just like checking out, and I was like, no, you lost the set, So there was a few times my instructor was like, okay, you lost it. No, don't approach. No, don't approach. Don't worry, you lost it. So after that, the next round, he finally found, okay, I'll just pick one girl. You just practice, right? Target practice, just boost your confidence. So I just went up and I just said, oh wow, that's an interesting book. What title is that? Yeah, stuff like that. It's weird. So the whole idea is about, overcome your shyness. It's basically don't think about it. The more you think about it, the more you'll stop doing. So ever since I kind of like apply this, I call it the 3-second rule. Don't think about it, man, right? Yeah, so that's the only thing, right? And I realized that the only thing that is stopping you from progressing further much faster is that you think too much. Just do it. The moment you have a plan in mind that as long as you know what you're gonna get done, just do it. Just freaking do it. Don't think about it. It's easy to say, but trust me, it's a lot harder than it is. But just remember, it's like dating, right? The moment you see a girl that you like, don't stay within her radius and keep checking out how it's going to creep her out, right? Even though you can have a very smooth pickup line, but let me tell you, it's just not going to work. She was like, just back away. She really like close you off. So again, the moment when you catch yourself thinking about it, that is a sign that you're supposed to start doing right now. Yeah, so that's yes.
I agree. Wow, that was intense. Thank you very much for that. Now, Lionel,
Yeah, you're welcome back. Yeah.
how can the Limitless Nation viewers and listeners get in contact with you to learn more about you, learn more of these awesome stories, as well as just to figure out what you're all about and what you're doing in business now?
Yeah, sure. You can add me up on Facebook, right? You can search for Leo Tan, Leo as in L-I-O, short form for Lionel, right? Leo Tan. You can also go to thelioneltan.com because I've prepared some resources to help you get started in your online business. If you want to build an asset that doesn't really cost much money to get started, you don't have like $100K, $200K, even you like have like $100, $200, you can easily get started, and you want some resources to help you to get moving, just go to thelioneltan.com, and basically I will show you the steps that if I were to begin my entire internet business journey all over again, all right, these are the resources I will use, and this would be how to get started. So yeah, so just go check it out, and yeah, feel free to hit me up on Facebook. You need anything, just let me know, then yeah, we'll keep in touch. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time, Leo.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you so much.
I'm sure that the Limitless Nation has been inspired by your story. I know that I absolutely learned a lot, and it was amazing.
It's a pleasure, Donovan. Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Until next time, this is Donovan saying, stay limitless.
Well, that's a wrap. Please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the word subscribe. And if you want to go deeper on learning on what you need to do to hunt your future, make sure you watch the interview that I've done with Donovan on what you need to do to hunt your future on every aspect of your being. This allows you to live a limitless life on every aspect of your life starting from today's forward. Plus, you are going to receive tips and tricks on what you need to do to tackle your day, tackle your challenges on every situation, every single time. So go ahead and download it right now, and until then, stay limitless forever.